I'm Whitney Mero, owner and designer of Onion Cut and Sewn, based in New York City. We are a cut and sewn company, which means that every order we have is cut from whole cloth, sewn by a person, finished by a person, packed by a person, and shipped by a person to you. I started making my own clothes at 12, around 12 or 13. I actually started off making prom dresses for, people at school, and, if they had little dances and stuff, I would make those dresses. So, the wheels are turning, and I'm thinking of a name. I could not think of anything that was like snappy that actually spoke to me. In Georgia, onion is a euphemism for a shapely bottom. Owning your own business can be very difficult, and it can wear you out. And I really didn't know what to do, so I just started making a list of friends that I had living overseas and applied for jobs in those places. And the first place I got a job was China. I don't know how Onion became Onion once I moved back from China. I moved back. Once again, Onion has always been a stable force in my life. I've always worked on clothes. I've always sewn for people. I've always been a dressmaker. But I guess up until around 10 years ago, I've always had to have like a second job. And I mean, I did everything. I worked at California Pizza Kitchen. I sang on a boat on a harbor cruise. I did a lot of extra jobs to supplement Onion. And then one day, I just did not have to work those jobs. I think it was a perfect storm of referrals, internet commerce, being able to take credit cards on your phone, because as long as people can swipe, they'll buy. And then just one day, it was what it is. It was almost like magic. There are so many challenges to being a Black female business owner. And primarily, the first one is being taken seriously. People not thinking your product is worth what you price it as. Having to be validated by others in order for this person to buy it. It's a lot, you know what I'm saying? But they're all problems that can be, overcome. It took a long time, but when it pops, and you get support from all kinds of people who recognize your talent. People ask me if I went to school for fashion. I didn't go to school for fashion, because basically if you have a talent, you make something, somebody gives you money for it, and then it keeps happening, you're a fashion designer. I think people get caught up in school. You don't need this validation, you need practice. You need to get out there and you need to work. Owning your own business is not about delegation. It's about getting in there, getting your hands dirty. So if you're willing to work, these things will work out for you. It might take a long time, but so what? What are you gonna do? You're gonna be working somewhere else anyway. Just, if you're willing to work, you can make these things happen. You can make the wheels move. The clothes actually don't do anything. They don't. People think they do, they don't. What makes the clothes special is what you put in them. As women, we don't like ourselves very much. We always have, well, I don't like this shoulder, or I don't like, my pinky too big. There's always something that we don't like about each other, or about ourselves. And then you find out that you put on a beautiful dress that makes you feel good, and all of a sudden everything's perfect. Everything's perfect. So the clothes are really inspired by the bodies, not the other way around. I have no long-term goals for Onion. Onion has, for years told me what it wants to do, and I just follow its lead. It never occurred to me that I would be doing interviews for Onion, because that's not something my focus. I'd never been interested in publicity. But then Onion was like, you need to do this interview. I was like, okay, I'll do an interview. Okay, I'll do this interview. Okay, well, I'll start doing this. Okay, well, I have to start making coats. I'll start making coats. I try to be guided by the demands of the company as opposed to imposing what I want.